शुभयोग शुभकर्ण एवं गुण विशेषण विष्ठायां तस्यां शुभजितौ सेवल गोत्रम सेवल नक्षत्रम सेवल नेम्स सेवल family members names. अस्माकं सह कुटुंबानां क्षेम स्थैर्य विजय वीर्य आयुः आरोग्य ऐश्वर्य अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं धर्मार्थ काममोक्ष चतुर्विध फलपुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं आद्यादि महालक्ष्मी समेत वीर वेंकट सत्यनारायण व्रत पूजाख्यम कल्पोक्त प्रकारेण यावत्शक्ति ध्यानम आवाहनादि षोडशोपचार पूजांच करिष्ये. नमस्कार. आप एल्लो राइस्टुली गणपति ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिं भवामहे कविं कवीनामवस्तवस्तवं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणा ब्रह्मणस्पदानः शृण्वन् नोतवेत्वेदस्तारम् अस्मेद्राबिम्बात् महागणपतिं विघ्नेश्वरं यथास्थानं प्रतिष्ठाप्य उद्भासे शोभनत्वे क्षेमाय पुनरागमनाय च. Take some flower petals from Ganapati sanctum, touch your eyes, put in the head, and put some kumkum in your forehead. Asyajamanasya Bhargava Gotrodvosya Sandhra Namyaha Bhargava Gotrodvosya Jagannath Namalesya एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं अस्य यजमानस्य भार्गवगोत्रस्य जोसन् निमिष नामधेयस्य भार्गवगोत्रस्य केविन् नामधेयस्य भार्गवगोत्रस्य मडिया नाम्यः एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं अस्य यजमानस्य नन्दम्पाणि मर्कजगोत्रस्य रङ्गनाथ नन्दम्पाणि नामधेयस्य मर्कजगोत्रायः अनितानन्दं नाम्याः मर्कजगोत्रस्य नारायणेश्वरसायी नन्दं नामधेयस्य एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं अस्य यजमानस्य अस्य यजमानस्य मिंटिरेड्डी गोत्रोद्भवस्य सिद्धार्थनामधेयस्य निशिता त्रिचुनपल्ली नाम्याः एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं अस्मिन्मास्य दिव्याशङ्कर नामधेयस्य एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं क्षेमस्थैर्यवीर्याश्रयाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्य यजमानस्य ऐतसगोत्रोद्भवस्य उत्तरफल्गुणजातस्य श्रीनिवासनामधेयस्य अश्विनजाताय पद्मजा नाम्नः अश्विनजातस्य गुरुप्रसाद नामधेयस्य देवदेवनृत्य नामधेयस्य नरेन्द्र मोदी नामधेयस्य सुषमा काजोल नामधेयस्य एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं मोक्षसगोत्रोद्भवस्य विशाखजातस्य भिभूनिहार नामधेयस्य पुष्पा नाम्यः निवेदिता नाम्यः एतेषां प्रणोति मोहन्ती नाम एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं अस्य यजमानस्य काश्यपगोत्रोद्भवस्य कुशाली नाम्यः आधी नामधेयस्य एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं अस्य काश्यपगोत्रोद्भवस्य आश्मी राकेश पटेल नामधेयस्य एतेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं अस्य यजमानस्य लिनी नाम्यः अशोक नामधेयस्य शबरीश नामधेयस्य महादेवन नामधेयस्य बालकृष्ण नामधेयस्य सती नाम्यः सुरेश नामधेयस्य मिथुन नामधेयस्य निशा नाम्यः राजीव नामधेयस्य वाणी देवनाथेषां सहकुटुम्बानाम् एवं. We all came late. Tell your gotra and your name. क्षेमस्थैर्यवीर्याश्रयाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् आस्तेजमास पूर्णिमे महोत्सव पुण्यकाले सत्यनारायण व्रत पूजाख्यं कर्म करिष्ये. Now take the water cup in the place in left part. Apply the kumkum, 4 sides of the cup. कलशं गन्धाक्षरं पृच्छान् कलहस्य मुखे विष्णुः कण्ठे रुद्रसमासिताः मूले सप्तस्तो ब्रह्मा मध्ये मातृविना स्मृताः उच्चौतसागरा सर्वे सप्तद्वीपा वसुन्धरः ऋग्वेदादिर्वेदो समवेदोत्तरवणः अंगैः सहिता सर्वे कलशां समाधिताः आयाम्य पूजाप्रभुतष्टैकारकाः गंगे जमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदा सिन्धु कावेरी जलेऽस्मिन् सन्निधं कुरु. Open the right valve, take the flower, sprinkle the sanctum with a solution. आपो वा इदं सर्वं पुष्पा भूतान्याप प्राणाव आपपच आपो नमः आपो मृतमाप सम्राडाव विराडाव सदाडाव खण्डाविश्याभ ज्योतिष्याव ऐजोगस्मा भगवा देवतावः गोद्भवस्वरा भव आत्मानं च प्रोक्षयेत्. By offering yellow rice, we will invoke the Panchalokpa devatas in the yellow 5 squares. In the middle square, Om Ekadantaya Vitmahe Vakkalundaaya Dhimahi Tanno Dante Prachodayate. Om Mahasusanaya Vitmahe Agastadvalaya Dhimahi Tannaschakra Prachodayate. After the yellow rice, repeat me. Godbhava Swaha Mahaganapatim Mahasudesanam Panchaloka Salaka Devatan Avakayami. Next is the Brahma, the creator. ब्रह्मजिज्ञानं प्रथमं पुरस्तात् विषेमतस्वरिजोमेन आवः स्वबुद्ध्या उपमा सविष्टा सदस्तो नमः शिवः. रिपीट में भूर्भुवः स्वः ब्रह्माणं पंचलोक बालक देवतान् ध्यायामि आवाहयामि. नेक्स्ट इज द विष्णु द प्रिजर्वर. तत् विष्णा परमं पदकं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयाः देवेव चक्ररातातं. रिपीट में भूर्भुवः स्वः विष्णुं पंचलोक देवतान् ध्यायामि आवाहयामि. नेक्स्ट इज रुद्र.
ओम कद्रुद्राज प्रचेतसे मीडुष्टमाजतव्यसे भोजे वसन्तमगुं हृदे सर्वो ह्येष रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु. भूर्भुवस्सुवः रुद्रं पंचलोक देवताम् आवाहयामि.
नेक्स्ट इज द दुर्गी डिवाइन मदर.
ओम जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यदोनितः दिवेदः सनः परिषदति दुर्गानि विश्वानावेव सिन्धुं दुरितात्यग्निः.
भूर्भुवस्सुवः दुर्गा परमेश्वरी पंचलोक बालक देवताम् आवाहयामि. नेक्स्ट इज नवग्रह देवता. लेट अस invoke the Navak Devatas by offering a low rice. First is Surya, sun that in good health.
Om Asatye Nadasa Vartamano Nivesakinamritam Matyanja Hiranyajena Savitarathena Devojati Bhuvana Vipasyanne.
Bodhbhavassuvaha Adhidevata Sahitam Surya Graham Vyayame Avakayami. Next is Chandra, moon, serpent, victory.
ओम आप्याजस्व समेतते विश्वतस्व मवृष्टियं भवावाजस्य संघर्थे.
भवस्सुवः अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितं चन्द्रग्रहं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि. नेक्स्ट इज अंगारका मंगल मास प्रॉस्पेरिटी.
मूर्धादिव कवत्पदे पृथिव्या अयम् अपागुं रेतागुं सिजिन्वती.
भूर्भुवस्सुवः
अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितं अंगारकग्रहं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि.
नेक्स्ट इज बुधा मर्क्यूरी प्रधान.
ओम उद्बुद्ध्य स्वाग्ने प्रतिजागृह्येन विष्टा मूर्ते सकं सृजेतामयं च पुनः गृह्णवग्रस्त्वापितरं युवानमन्वादागुं सेत्वयितन्तु मेताम्.
भूर्भुवस्सुवः अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितं बुधग्रहं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि. नेक्स्ट इज गुरु बृहस्पति जुपिटर रिप्रेजेंट विजडम.
ओम बृहस्पते अदेतर्योर्घाद्यमध्यमज्जनेषु यद्धीतयश्च वसकृत प्रजादत तस्मात् द्रविणन्देहि चित्रम्.
भूर्भुवस्सुवः अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितं बृहस्पतिग्रहं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि. शुक्र वीनस रिप्रेजेंट वेल्थ.
ओम प्रभ शुक्राज भानवे परद्वगं हव्यं मतिं छाग्नजे सुभूतं यो दैव्यानि मानुषा जनो गश्यन्तर्विश्वानि विद्मनाजिगाति
भूर्भुवस्सुवः
भूर्भुवस्सुवः
अधिदेवता
अधिदेवता
प्रत्यधिदेवता
प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितं शुक्रग्रहं ध्यायामि
आवाहयामि
ओम शन्नो देवीर्भिष्टजावो भवन्ति पीतजे सञ्जारमिश्रवन्तु नः
भूर्भुवस्सुवः अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितं शनेश्वरग्रहं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि नेक्स्ट इज राहु ड्रैगन हेड
ओम कयानश्चित्रावधूति सदा व्रतस्सखा कयासचिष्टया वृता
भूर्भुवस्सुवः
अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितं राहुग्रहं ध्यायामि
आवाहयामि नेक्स्ट इज द केतु ड्रैगन टेल रिप्रेजेंट फैमिली अपोलेंस
ओम केतुं कृण्वन्न केतवे पेसो मर्या भेससे समुषद्भिर्जायथा
भूर्भुवस्सुवः अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितं केतुग्रहं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि invoke the Ashtikpalakas by offering the low rice. First is the Indra. Om Indraya Namaha. Purvadikpalakam Dhyayami Avagayami. Second is Agni. Om Agniye Namaha. Agneya Dikpalakam Dhyayami Avagayami. Next is Yama. ओम यमाय नमः दक्षिणा दिक्पालकं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि नेक्स्ट इज निवृत्ति ओम नैऋत्ये नमः नैऋत्या दिक्पालकं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि नेक्स्ट इज द वरुण ओम वरुणाय नमः पश्चिमा दिक्पालकं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि नेक्स्ट इज वायु ओम वायुवे नमः वायुव्या दिक्पालकं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि नेक्स्ट इज कुबेरा ओम कुबेराय नमः उत्तरा दिक्पालकं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि नेक्स्ट इज ईशाना ओम ईशानाय नमः ईशान्या दिक्पालकं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि Now let us offer some turmeric powder and kumkum and flower petals. आदित्यानवग्रहदेवताभ्यो नमः अर्घ्यपाचमनीयं समर्पयामि वस्त्रार्थमक्षतान् समर्पयामि दिव्यगन्धान् धारयामि गन्धस्योपरि हरिद्रा कुङ्कुमा सिन्दूरान् समर्पयामि Our some flower petals, pushpani samarpayami adityani navagraha devatabhyo namo namaha all some yellow rice for dupam om dakshangam gubhalam dopam sagandam sumanoharam agneyam sarvadevanam dhupoyam pratigrihyataam next is the deepak om sajjam dravarti samyuktam bannina yojitam maya ग्रहाणमंगलम दीपम त्रैलोक्य दिविरापकम दीपम दर्शयामि offer other banana offer to the navagraha for other banana and take the flower water cup sprinkle the banana and offer it om pranaya swaha pranaya swaha pranaya swaha samanaya swaha manane namaha amritavalniveyami bhogi padal payami suvarna pushpachalan samarpayami also mellow rice for the arati repeat me namaha adityaya somaya mangalaya budhaya guru shukra shanipyascha raghave ketuve namo namaha jai bolo navagraha bhagavan ki jai. Now let us invoke the Varuna Devata in the Kalasham. There is the holy Pitavla Satyanarayana is the Varuna is there. ओम ब्रह्मजिज्ञानं प्रथमं पुरस्ताद्विषेमतः वेन आवह
सपुत्र्या वमास्य विविधा सतस्योर्निसतश्चलिवः
इमं मे
सुदेहमध्याजपडया स्वामवस्य राजके परत्वायामि ब्रह्मणा वन्दमानसदासा तेजमानो हविर्भिः अहेडमानो वरुणेदगो समानाजप्रमोषेः
अस्मिन् कुम्भे
वरुणं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि
Now hold some mellow rice. Repeat after me and invoke the Satyanarayana and Mahalakshmi. ध्याये सत्यं गुणातीतं गुणत्रया समन्वितं लोकनाथं त्रिलोकेशं कौस्तुभाभरण भूषितं नीलवर्ण पीतवासं श्रीवत्सा पद्मभूषितं गोविन्दं गोकुलानन्द ब्रह्माद्यैः अपि पूजितं वन्दे पद्मकरां प्रसन्नवदना सौभाग्यदां हस्ताभ्याम् अभयप्रदां मणिगणैः नानाविधैः भूषितां भक्ताभीष्ट फलप्रदां हरिहर ब्रह्मादिभिः सेवितां पार्श्वे पंकजा शङ्खपद्मा निधिभिः युक्ता सदा शक्तिभिः आद्यादि महालक्ष्मी समेत वीरवेंकट सत्यनारायणं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि रत्नसिंहासनं समर्पयामि Touch the ring finger to the holy feet of Satyanarayana. Hold like this index finger. Repeat me. Swaminne Sarva Jagannatha Yavate Puja Avasanakam Avate Pritibhavena Bimbesmin Sannidham Kuru. Like this. Satyanarayana Swamine Namaha. Turmeric powder, kumkum offering. Pruthovyatmana gandham samarpayami. Gandhatmara Duradharsha Nityavashtam Dareshane Eswaregam Sarvabhutanam Tamivoapakvaje Shriyam. Akashatmana avaran flower. Akashatmana pushpam samarpayami. Ayuneta balagane durvarakanta pushpane Yudahasta pundarayakane samudastakayame. Vayavyatmana dhupamagrapayami. Dakangam gukkulam dhupam sugandham manoharam. Agneyam sarvadevanam dhupoyam prativrikyam. Agneyatmana pratyakshadipam darshayami. Sajadaveda varnam nirvimma. Pratyakshadipam darshayami. Amrutabalam nivedayami. Om Bhutbhuva Swaha Satyam Tattena Vayinami Amrutavasando Brahmi Swaha. Samanaya Swaha Brahmane Namam Pratipanivedaya Bhogi Balarpayami. Suvarna Pushpa Archadan Samarpayami. Hold some mellow rice. We'll do the Katpurarti. Om Narayanaaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. Om Mahadevi Vidmahe Vishnupatne Dhimahi Tanno Lakshmi Prachodayat. Satyanarayana Swamine Namaha. Karpura Mangala Leela Darshayami. Jai Bolo Satyanarayana Bhagavan ki Jai Bolo Lakshmi Mata ki Jai. Now is Yajyam. Take the flower particum, sprinkle the thrice to the Satyanarayana. Narayana Namastestu Narakarnava Grahana Madhyam Devesa Mama Saukya Vivardhane. Next is the Argyam.
व्यक्ताव्यक्त स्वरूपाय ऋषिक पतये नमः मया निवेदितं अर्घ्यं प्रतिगृह्यता सत्यनारायण स्वार्घ्यं समर्पयामि सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि मन्दाकिनिः यद्वारे सर्वपाप हरं सुखं मया निवेदितं भक्त्या आचमनीयं प्रतिगृह्यता सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः आचमनीयं समर्पयामि नेक्स्ट स्नानं
ओम सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपाद शभूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलं पुरुषये वेदकुं सर्वं यद्भूतं यश्च भव्यम् उतामृतत्वस्येषानः यदन्नेनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अथोऽध्यायागश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्ध्वबुधैः पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामतु शासनानसने अभि तस्मात् विराडजायता विराजो अधिपूरुषः स जातो अध्यरिष्यत पश्चात् भूमिमथो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतन्वत वसन्तो अस्यासीताब्जम् ग्रीष्मयुग्मः शरद्धविः सप्तास्यासन् परितयः त्रिसप्तसमिधः कृताः देवायत्यज्ञं तन्वानाः अभद्रन् पुरुषं पशं तं यज्ञं बर्हिषि प्रौक्षन् पुरुषं जातमग्रतः तेन देवा अजजन्थ साध्या ऋषयस्तये तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्वभूतः ऋचः सामानि जज्ञिरे छन्दागुंसि जज्ञिरे तस्मात् यजस्तस्मादजायथ तस्मादश्वा अजायन्थ एके च भयाधतः गावो हजज्ञिरे तस्माज्जाता अजावयः यत्पुरुषं यददुः कथिताव्यकल्पयन् मुखं किमस्य कौ बाहू कावूरुपादावुच्छेदे ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यः कृतः ऊरु तदस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भ्यागं शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षुः सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च प्राणाद्वायुरजायत नाभ्या आसीदन्तरिक्षं शीर्ष्णोद्यौ समवर्तत पद्भ्यां भूमिर्दिश श्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागुम् अकल्पयन् वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसस्तु पारे सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वा अभिवदन् ते धाता पुरस्ताद्यमुत जहारा शक्रप्रविद्वान् प्रतिशश्चतस्रः तमेवं विद्वान् अमृत इह भवति नान्यपन्था अजनाय विद्यते यज्ञेन यज्ञमयजन्त देवाः तानि नान्यासन् ते हनाकं महिमानः सचन्ते यत्र पूर्वे साध्याः सन्ति देवाः ॐ नमो नारायणाय ऋतगुं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं ष्टपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् विष्णोर्नुकं वीर्याणि प्रवोचं यत्थिवानि विममे रजागुंसिजो अस्कबाय सदस्थं विचक्रम स्त्रेधोरुगाजो विष्णोरराटमसि अपृष्टमसि विष्णोस्नप्त्रेस्तो विष्णो विष्णो ध्रुवमसि वैष्णवमसि नवेत्वा राजनाजा ॐ महादेवी च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीं गामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं तेजङ्गामस्त्वं पुरुषानहम्. Okay, everybody repeat me. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare. जय बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय बोलो महालक्ष्मी मैया की समस्त देवता भगवान की समस्त सद्गुरु मंडली की शिवा विष्णुआलय समस्त देवता भगवान की. Going to continue the puja. Right now done the Mangala Snanam. So now after continues the puja. Om. Repeat me. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Rama Devi Sameta Satyanarayana Swamine Namo Namaha Vishesha Panchamrita Panchadravya Snanam Samarpayami Snananantaram Achamaniyam Samarpayami.
Anga Puja, guys. Om Satyadevaya Namaha.
Om Satyadevaya Namaha.
Pado Pujayami.
Pado Pujayami.
Om Satyatmane Namaha.
Om Satyatmane Namaha.
Pulpa Pujayami.
Pulpo Pujayami.
Om Satyanidaye Namaha.
Om Satyanidhaye Namaha.
Janane Pujayami.
Janani Pujayami.
Om Satyasankalpaya Namaha.
Om Satyasankalpaya Namaha.
Jange Pujayami.
Jange Pujayami.
Om Satya Adisaya Namaha.
Om Satya Adisaya Namaha.
Jaganam Pujayami.
Jaganam सत्यं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यसेव्याय नमः
ॐ सत्यसेव्याय नमः
नित्यं पूजयामि
नित्यं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यवलयाय नमः
ॐ सत्यवलयाय नमः
पतिं पूजयामि
पतिं पूजयामि
ओम सत्योधराय नमः
ॐ सत्योधराय नमः
उदरं पूजयामि
उदरं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यकामाय नमः
ॐ सत्यकामाय नमः
भक्तस्थलं पूजयामि
वक्षस्थलं पूजयामि
ओम सत्येष्ठाय नमः
ॐ सत्येष्ठाय नमः
हृदयं पूजयामि
हृदयं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यपरायणाय नमः
ॐ सत्यपरायणाय नमः
कंठं पूजयामि
कण्ठं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यशौर्याय नमः
ॐ सत्यशौर्याय नमः
बाहुं पूजयामि
बाहुं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यदक्षाय नमः
ॐ सत्यदक्षाय नमः
भुजं पूजयामि
भुजं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यसन्तुष्टाय नमः
ॐ सत्यसन्तुष्टाय नमः
हस्तं पूजयामि
हस्तं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यशर्माय नमः
ॐ सत्यशर्माय नमः
श्रोत्राणि पूजयामि
रत्नानि पूजयामि
ओम सत्यपूर्णाय नमः
ॐ सत्यपूर्णाय नमः
नेत्राणि पूजयामि
नेत्राणि पूजयामि
ओम सत्यवेधाय नमः
ॐ सत्यवेदाय नमः
भुवं पूजयामि
ॐ पूजयामि
ओम सत्य अच्युताय नमः
ॐ सत्य अच्युताय नमः
गोमध्यं पूजयामि
गोमध्यं पूजयामि
ओम सत्य औषधाय नमः
ॐ सत्य औषधाय नमः
मुखं पूजयामि
ं पूजयामि
ओम सत्य आनन्दाय नमः
ॐ सत्य आनन्दाय नमः
जिह्वं पूजयामि
त्वं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यग्रहरूपिणे नमः
ॐ सत्यग्रहरूपिणे नमः
ललाटं पूजयामि
ललाटं पूजयामि
ओम सत्यभामारताय नमः
ॐ सत्यभामारथाय नमः
शिरः पूजयामि
शिरः पूजयामि
ओम सत्यप्रहरणायुधाय नमः
ॐ सत्यप्रकरणायुधाय नमः
सर्वाङ्गानि पूजयामि
सर्वाङ्गानि पूजयामि
Offer some flower petals. ओम केशवाय नमः
ॐ नारायणाय नमः
ओम नारायणाय नमः
ॐ माधवाय नमः
ओम माधवाय नमः
ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः
ओम गोविन्दाय नमः
ॐ विष्णवे नमः
ओम विष्णवे नमः
ॐ मधुसूदनाय नमः
ओम मधुसूदनाय नमः
ॐ त्रिविक्रमाय नमः
ओम त्रिविक्रमाय नमः
ॐ वामनाय नमः
ओम वामनाय नमः
ॐ श्रीधराय नमः
ओम श्रीधराय नमः
ॐ ऋषिकेशाय नमः
ओम श्रीकेशाय नमः
ॐ पद्मनाभाय नमः
ओम पद्मनाभाय नमः
ॐ दामोदराय नमः
ओम दामोदराय नमः सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पार्घ्यदान समर्पयामि Who came late, please say your gotram, please say your nakshatra, please say your name, your family members' names, say asmakam
अस्माकं
saha
सह
kutumbana
कुटुम्बानां
क्षेमस्थैर्य
क्षेमस्थैर्य
विजयवीर्य
विजयवीर्य
आयुः
आयुः
आरोग्य
आरोग्य
ऐश्वर्य
ऐश्वर्य
अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं
अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं
सत्यनारायण स्वामी
सत्यनारायण स्वामी
अर्चन
अर्चन
पूजाख्यं
पूजाख्यं
करिष्ये
करिष्ये
Hold the book. Satyanarayana Swami Ashtoshtanamavali. Left hand. Take some yellow rice on right hand. We'll join all together at the time. After 108 names, we have a yellow rice. Okay, let us start.
ॐ श्री सत्यदेवाय नमः ॐ श्री सत्य आत्मने नमः ॐ श्री सत्यभूताय नमः ॐ श्री सत्यपुरुषाय नमः ॐ श्री सत्यनाथाय नमः ॐ श्री
साक्षिणे नमः.
ॐ श्री सत्ययोगाय नमः ॐ श्री
सत्यज्ञानाय नमः. ओम श्री
सत्यज्ञानप्रियाय नमः ॐ श्री सत्यनिधये नमः ॐ श्री सत्यसंभवाय नमः ॐ श्री सत्यप्रभवे नमः ॐ श्री सत्य ईश्वराय नमः ॐ श्री सत्यकर्मणे नमः ॐ श्री सत्यपवित्राय नमः ॐ श्री सत्यमङ्गलाय नमः ॐ श्री सत्यगर्भाय नमः ॐ श्री सत्यप्रजापतये नमः विक्रमाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य सिद्धाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य अच्युताय नमः ओम श्री सत्य वीराय नमः ओम श्री सत्य बोधाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य धर्माय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य अग्रदाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य संतुष्टाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य वराहाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य परायणाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य पूर्णाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य औषधाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य शाश्वताय नमः ओम श्री सत्य प्रवर्धनाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य विभवे नमः ओम श्री सत्य ज्येष्ठाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य श्रेष्ठाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य विक्रमणे नमः ओम श्री सत्य भेदाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य अधीशाय नमः ओम श्री
सत्य कतवे नमः
ओम श्री सत्य कालाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य वत्सलाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य वसवे नमः
ओम श्री सत्य मेघाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य रुद्राय नमः ओम श्री सत्य ब्रह्मणे नमः ओम श्री सत्य अमृताय नमः ओम श्री सत्य वेदांताय नमः ओम श्री सत्य चतुरात्मने नमः ओम श्री सत्य भोक्त्रे नमः ओम श्री सत्य सुचये नमः ओम श्री सत्य अर्जिताय नमः ओम श्री सत्य इंद्राय नमः ओम श्री सत्य संग्रहाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य स्वर्गाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य नियमाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य मेधाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य वेद्याय नमः ओम श्री सत्य पीयूषाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य मायाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य महाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य सुरानंदाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य सागराय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य तपसे नमः
ओम श्री सत्य सिंहाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य मृगाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य लोकपालकाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य स्थिताय नमः ओम श्री सत्य औषधाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य दिक्पालकाय नमः ओम श्री
सत्य तनुधराय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य अंबुजाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य काव्याय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य गुरवे नमः ओम श्री सत्य न्यायाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य साक्षिणे नमः ओम श्री सत्य संप्रदाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य संप्रदाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य वर्णये नमः ओम श्री सत्य वायवे नमः ओम श्री सत्य शिखराय नमः ओम श्री सत्य आनंदाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य अभिराजाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य श्रीपादाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य गुह्याय नमः ओम श्री सत्य उदराय नमः ओम श्री सत्य हृदयाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य कमलाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य नालाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य हस्ताय नमः ओम श्री सत्य भागवे नमः ओम श्री सत्य मुखाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य जिह्वाय नमः श्री सत्य दंष्ट्राय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य नासिकाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य स्तोत्राय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य चक्षुषे नमः ओम श्री सत्य शिरसे नमः ओम श्री सत्य मुकुटाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य अंबराय नमः ओम श्री सत्य आभरणाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य आयुधाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य वल्लभाय नमः ओम श्री सत्य
सत्य नमः
ओम श्री सत्य पुष्कराय नमः ओम श्री सत्य
पुटाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य भामरदाय नमः
ओम श्री सत्य ग्रहरूपिणे नमः
ओम श्री सत्य प्रकरणायुधाय नमः
सत्यनारायण स्वामिने अष्टोत्तरनामावली अर्चनं
समर्पयामि.
Now let us offer the Kumkumarchana by Mahalakshmi. Hold some kumkum and hold it the book, left hand. Let us offer the kumkum by chanting all together. Let us start. Om Prakrutye Namaha.
ओम विकृत्यै नमः ओम विद्यायै नमः ॐ सर्वभूतहितप्रदायै नमः ॐ श्रद्धायै नमः ॐ विभूत्यै नमः ॐ सुरभ्यै नमः ॐ परमात्मिकायै नमः ॐ वाचे नमः ॐ पद्मालयायै नमः ॐ पद्मायै नमः ॐ सुचये नमः ॐ स्वाहायै नमः ॐ सुधायै नमः ॐ सुधायै नमः ॐ धन्यायै नमः ॐ हिरण्मयै नमः ॐ लक्ष्मी नमः ॐ नित्यपुष्टायै नमः ॐ विभावन्यै नमः ॐ अनित्यै नमः ॐ दित्यै नमः ॐ दीप्तायै नमः ॐ वसुधायै नमः ॐ वसुधारिण्यै नमः ॐ कमलायै नमः ॐ कान्तायै नमः ॐ क्षमायै नमः ॐ क्षीरोदभवायै नमः ॐ अनुग्रहप्रदायै नमः ॐ बुद्धये नमः ॐ अनगायै नमः ॐ हरिवल्लभायै नमः ॐ अशोकायै नमः ॐ अमृतायै नमः ॐ दीप्तायै नमः ॐ लोकशोकविनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ धर्मनिलयायै नमः ॐ करुणायै नमः ॐ लोकमात्रे नमः ॐ पद्मप्रियायै नमः ॐ पद्महस्तायै नमः ॐ पद्माक्षी नमः ॐ पद्मसुन्दर्यै नमः ॐ पद्माधवायै नमः ॐ पद्ममुख्यै नमः ॐ पद्मनाभप्रियायै नमः ॐ रमायै नमः ॐ पद्ममालाधरायै नमः ॐ देव्यै नमः ॐ पद्मिन्यै नमः ॐ पद्मगन्धिन्यै नमः ॐ पुण्यगन्धायै नमः ॐ सुप्रसन्नायै नमः ॐ प्रसादाभिमुख्यै नमः ॐ प्रभायै नमः ॐ चन्द्रवदनायै नमः ॐ चन्द्रायै नमः ॐ चन्द्रसहोदरयै नमः ॐ चतुर्भुजायै नमः ॐ चन्द्ररूपायै नमः ॐ इन्दिरायै नमः ॐ इन्दुशीतलायै नमः ॐ आह्लादजनन्यै नमः ॐ पुष्ट्यै नमः ॐ शिवायै नमः ॐ शिवगर्यै नमः ॐ सत्यै नमः ॐ विमलायै नमः ॐ विश्वजनन्यै नमः ॐ तुष्ट्यै नमः ॐ दारिद्र्यनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ प्रीतिपुष्करिण्यै नमः ॐ शान्तायै नमः ॐ शुक्लमाल्याम्बरायै नमः ॐ भास्यै नमः ॐ भास्कर्यै नमः ॐ बिल्वनिलयायै नमः ॐ परारोहायै नमः ॐ यशस्विन्यै नमः ॐ वसुन्धरायै नमः ॐ उदाराङ्गायै नमः ॐ हरिण्यै नमः ॐ हेममालिन्यै नमः ॐ धनधान्यकर्यै नमः ॐ सिद्धये नमः ॐ स्थेनसौम्यायै नमः ॐ स्वप्रदायै नमः ॐ नृपवेशगदानन्दायै नमः ॐ वरलक्ष्मी नमः ॐ सुप्रदायै नमः ॐ शुभायै नमः ॐ हिरण्यप्राकारायै नमः ॐ समुद्रतनयायै नमः ॐ जयायै नमः ॐ विष्णुपदेयै नमः ॐ विश्ववक्षस्थलशिवायै नमः ॐ विष्णुरत्नै नमः ॐ प्रसन्नाक्षै नमः ॐ नारायणसमाश्रितायै नमः ॐ दारिद्र्यध्वंसिन्यै नमः ॐ देव्यै नमः ॐ सर्वोपद्रवनिवारिण्यै नमः ॐ नवदुर्गायै नमः ॐ महाकाल्यै नमः ॐ ब्रह्मविष्णुशिवात्मिकायै नमः ॐ त्रिकालज्ञानसम्पन्नायै नमः ॐ भुवनेश्वर्यै नमः
सत्संतान
सौभाग्य
सौमांगल्य
अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं
महालक्ष्मी आधारन्दयोः कुङ्कुमार्चन पूजा समर्पयामि. Take the kumkum, put it some forehead as a blessing, Mahalakshmi blessing. Next is the dhupam. शशाङ्गं कुक्कुलं रूपं सुगन्धं सुमनोहरम् आग्रेय सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगुह्यताम्. Next is the Deepam. Satyam Tribhatti Samyuktam Vandina Yoitam Maya Grihanamanghalam Deepam Trailakyam Timiravaha Pratyaksha Deepam Darsayami. Next is Naivedyam. Open the laddu. Offer to the Mahalakshmi. Now Satyanarayana. Satyanarayana Swamine Namaha. Take the flower from water cup. Sprinkle the laddu. Offer it. Satyam Satyaramayin Shami Amritamastu Amato Bharanamahi Swaha. Om Pranaya Swaha. Om Apanaya Swaha. Om Dhyanaya Swaha. Om Udanaya Swaha. Om Samanaya Swaha. Om Brahmane Namaha. Amritmanvedayami. Uttarabhalpayami. Astavattalpayami. Padavattalpayami. Karatvalpayami. Ugi Balatambulam. Suvarna Pushpa. Akshataan Samarpayami. Satyanarayana Swamine Namo Namaha. Sarvopajaratte. Hold from yellow rice. Karpura Mangala Neerajanam Darshayami. Om
नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्
Mahadevi
च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्
Mahalakshmi Satyanarayana Swamine Namaha Karpura Mangala Neerajanam Darshayami Rakshadakshan Dharayami. Jai Satyanarayana Bhagavan ki Jai Lakshmi Mata ki
ओम विशेषतः सत्यनारायण स्वामी पूजा कैंकर्यकर्तॄणां काश्यपगोत्रोद्भवस्य श्रवण नक्षत्रे मकरराजस्य प्रेम पिल्लै नामाङ्कितस्य उत्तराषाढा नक्षत्रे रोहिणी पिल्लै नामाङ्कितस्य उत्तराभाद्रा नक्षत्रे देवन पिल्लै नामाङ्कितस्य पुनरसो नक्षत्रे पूर्वाषाढा नक्षत्रे ध्रुव पिल्लै नामाङ्कितस्य सर्वेषां यजमानानां सर्वाणाम् एवं विशेषतः मार्कण्डेय गोत्रोद्भवस्य उत्तरपणि नक्षत्रे कन्या रासुजातस्य रंगनाथ दंदम पाणि नामाङ्कितस्य स्वाधीन तुला रासुजातयः अनिता नंदम नाम्याः अनुराधाक्षरचिराजस्य नारायणी स्वसाय नामाङ्कितस्य सर्वेषां सकुटुम्बानां सत्यनारायण स्वामी प्रसाद प्रसिद्ध्यर्थं पूजा निकरिष्ये.
Now we need 5 members to read the katha.
Please come and have a seat here. Whoever wants to read the 5 stories, please come.
Each one chapter. You want to read yourself in your slow pace. Read it. Take some yellow rice. End of the chapter. Offer to the Satyanarayana. Take some more for next chapter.
You want to use the mic? You can. Yes. Any volunteers for reading stories?
Once showed and
88,000.
88,000 other rishis assembled at the forest
Naimisharanya.
Naimisharanya and asked Maharishi Sita, the narrator of the Puranas, "O Maharishi, please tell us how mankind can attain salvation." Maharishi Sutta, once Narada Muni asked Lord Vishnu, the consort of Lakshmi, and the same question. I will tell you what Lord Vishnu told Narada. So listen carefully. Once Narada, during one of his sojourns to the various planets, came to earth. There he saw the people suffering as a result of their past deeds. So alleviate their sufferings and bring about salvation. Narada traveled to Vishnu. There he found Lord Vishnu ordained conch, chakra and gada, and lotus in his 4 hands and a garland around his neck. Narada spoke humbly, "O Supreme Lord, the Savior of the destitute and the troubled, I surrender at thy feet." Lord Vishnu asked, "Narada, why have you come here?" Tell me what you want and I will fulfill your wishes. Narada replied, Oh Bhagavan, people on earth are suffering in many ways as a result of their own caused sinful deeds. Please bestow thy grace and reveal me as to how they can be helped. Lord Vishnu replied, Oh Narada, mankind can get rid itself of all its sorrows by performing a puja called Satyanarayana Puja. This puja, when performed according to religious rites, will bring happiness, peace of mind and wealth in this life and salvation beyond. On hearing this, Narada was filled with joy and addressing Lord Vishnu, thus, O Lord, in your infinite grace, please tell me the details of this puja that you just mentioned, how and when to perform it, and who has performed it before. Lord Vishnu answered, this puja can be performed any month on a full moon day. One must gather his friends and relatives, perform the puja with devotion and offering fruit, flowers, ghee, milk, yogurt, butter, wheat flour, sugar and honey to the Lord. After the puja is over, he must read the Satyanarayana Katha and distribute the prasadam to everybody. If the puja is thus performed, it will bring fulfillment to one's wishes. Particularly in the Kali Yuga, this puja brings contentment.
Satyanarayana Bhagavata Vishwam Samarpayami. Om Narayana Adilaguru Bhagavan Namaste. Bhagavan Namaste. Jai Bolo Satyanarayana Bhagavan ki. Jai. आपस में लो right side to hold some more for next chapter.
Maharishi Sutta continued addressing the assembled rishis. O rishis, I will tell you who all observed the Satyanarayana Puja in the past. Once there lived a very poor Brahmin in the beautiful city of Kasi. Plagued by acute hunger, he used to wander around about here and there every day. Lord Vishnu took the form of an old man, appeared before the poor Brahmin and asked, Friend, why are you wandering aimlessly? The poor Brahmin replied, Sir, I am a very poor man, unable to bear the pangs of hunger. I beg for alms. Sir, if you know the way out of this misery, please tell me. Whereupon Lord Vishnu, who was in the guise of an old man, replied, O Brahmin, Lord Satyanarayana grants his devotees wishes and removes their sorrows. So you should perform his puja and reap its benefit. Lord Vishnu then explained the details of the Satyanarayana Vrata to the poor Brahmin and disappeared. The poor Brahmin immediately resolved to perform the puja. After a sleepless night, he got up early in the morning and went to beg for alms. His mind only fixed on one thing, namely the puja. That day he got a lot of money which he brought, fruits, milk, yogurt and honey, and performed the puja with his relatives and friends. With Lord Narayana's grace, he shed his poverty and lived a contented life. Every month on the full moon day, he performed the puja and finally attended moksha, salvation. Maharishi Sutta thus told the assembled rishis the story which originally was narrated by Lord Vishnu to Narada Muni. The rishis then addressed Maharishi Sutta, O the Great One, please tell us in detail who else performed the puja. Maharishi Sutta continued. One day, when the poor Brahmin from Kasi was observing the Satyanarayana Vrata, a woodcutter entered his house and asked for water. Seeing the Brahmin perform the puja, the woodcutter inquired what the puja was about and what good it would bring. The Brahmin, who had been bestowed with Lord Satyanarayana's grace, spoke. This is the Satyanarayana Ratha. Anyone who observes the Ratha will get all the riches. I myself have been bestowed with the wealth. The woodcutter was delighted to hear this. He earned the proper way to perform the puja, ate the prasad that was offered and went away. With Lord Satyanarayana in his mind, the woodcutter resolved that he would observe the Ratha with whatever he was going to make by selling the firewood that day. He went to the part of the city where rich people lived, sold the firewood and made twice the normal profit. Pleased with his luck, the woodcutter bought bananas, sugar, milk, ghee, yogurt, honey, and wheat flour, and performed the Satyanarayana Puja with his friends and relatives. By Lord Narayana's grace, he acquired enormous wealth and lived comfortable and attained moksha.
Satyanarayana Swati Kalabhishwam Samarpayami. Om Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana. Jai Narayana Bhagavan ki. Chapter 3.
Maharishi Sutta continued, O best of ascetics, I will now tell you the story further. In the olden days, there lived a wise king by the name Ulkamukha. He had mastered all his senses and always spoke the truth. He used to go to the temple every day and give gifts to the Brahmins. His lotus-faced wife was a pure and pious woman. One day, the royal couple was performing the Satyanarayana Puja on the banks of the river Bhadrashila. At that time, a merchant called Sadhu sailed by. Seeing the king perform some puja, Sadhu stopped by his boat, got off, and addressed the king humbly. O king, would you tell me what you are doing with such devotion and concentration? The king replied, O Sadhu, I have no children. In order that I may be blessed with children, I am worshipping the Almighty Lord Satyanarayana. On hearing this, Sadhu spoke humbly. O king, please tell me how to perform the puja. I would like to observe the vrata as I too have no children. The king told him all the details. Sadhu returned home with great joy and told his wife Leelavati that they should perform Satyanarayana Puja, which will fulfill their desire to have children. He then resolved to perform the puja after the child was born. Then, by divine grace, Sadhu's wife conceived, and in due course a beautiful daughter was born to them. They named the daughter Kalavati. One day, Leelavati reminded her husband of his promise to perform puja. Sadhu told his wife that he would do the puja at the time of his daughter's wedding and got busy with his work. In the meantime, Kalavati grew up and blossomed into a lovely girl. Sadhu sent out messengers to find a suitable bridegroom for his daughter. One of his messengers found a good-natured and handsome boy from Kanchannagar. Sadhu found the boy to be a suitable match for Kalavati and celebrated his daughter's wedding with great pomp and show. But Sadhu completely forgot about the Satyanarayana Puja and thus angered Lord Satyanarayana. Then one day, Sadhu went on a business trip with his son-in-law. He stopped to trade at Ratnapura that was ruled by King Chandraketu. Lord Satyanarayana placed a curse on Sadhu. One day, some thieves robbed the king's treasury and were running away. The king's soldiers followed them in hot pursuit. The frightened thieves threw all the loot near Sadhu and escaped. Finding the king's treasure near Sadhu and his son-in-law, the king's soldiers arrested them and brought them before the king. The king ordered them to be chained and thrown into the prison. Because of Lord Narayana's Maya, nobody even listened to what Sadhu had to say in his defense. King Chandraketu also had their merchandise confiscated. Lord Narayana's curse did not spare Sadhu's wife. Some robbers broke into her house and Leelavati lost everything. One day, Kalavati was very hungry and ran out of the house. She wandered here and there and stopped at a house where Satyanarayana Puja was being performed. She stayed at that place until the puja was finished and ate the prasad that was offered. When she reached home, it was late night. Leelavati asked her where she had been. Kalavati told her mother that she was listening to Satyanarayana Katha in somebody's house. Leelavati at once remembered her husband's promise to perform the puja and resolved to observe Satyanarayana Katha herself. She collected her relatives and friends and prayed to Lord Satyanarayana to forgive their sins. Lord Satyanarayana was pleased with Leelavati's prayers. He appeared before King Chandraketu in his dream and told him to release the two merchants from prison as they were not the real thieves. If the king failed to do so, Lord Narayan warned that his kingdom, wealth and children would all be destroyed. Next morning, the king told his counselors about his dreams and ordered Sadhu and his son-in-law to be released. The latter was frightened and stood before the king with bowed heads. The king talked to them gently and said, "You too have suffered a great deal because of your fate, but there's nothing to fear." The king returned their merchandise, gave them new clothes and lots of gifts and bade them goodbye.
Om Mahadevi Vidmahe Vishnupadme Dhimmahe Tanno Lakshmi Prachodayatu. Jai Bolo Lakshmi Mata Ki Jai. Chapter 4.
Sadhu and son-in-law loaded their boat with riches given to them by the king and sailed homeward. Lord Satyanarayana wanted to test Sadhu further. He took the form of an ascetic with a trident, appeared before Sadhu and asked him what he was carrying in his boat. Without realizing that the ascetic was indeed Lord Narayana in disguise, Sadhu laughed mockingly and said, "You Brahmin, were you thinking of stealing my things? We do not have any valuables in the boat except vessels." Whereupon Lord Narayana replied, "O Sadhu, so be it." The ascetic then departed in great haste and stood by the seashore. When Sadhu went to his boat, he discovered to his horror that the boat was filled with vessels just as he had falsely told the ascetic. Sadhu swooned at the sight, but he was revived by his son-in-law who spoke, "This must be the curse of the ascetic. He must be the mystic. Let us go to him and ask for forgiveness." The two merchants then went to the seashore where the ascetic was meditating. They fell at his feet and repeatedly begged for his forgiveness. Pleased by Sadhu's devotion, the Lord said, "Sadhu, do not weep. You suffer because you have broken your promise time and again." On hearing this, Sadhu prayed to God, "O Lord, even Brahma and other devas drowned in your Maya cannot comprehend your various forms. How can I, with my limited knowledge, comprehend your various forms? I pray according to my limited knowledge. Please show me your true form and bless me." Upon hearing his prayer, God was pleased and granted his wishes, restoring his merchandise in the boat and disappeared. The two merchants joyfully sailed homeward. On reaching their hometown, they sent a messenger to their wives, informing them of their safe arrival. At that time, Leelavati and Kalavati were performing Satyanarayana Puja. Leelavati quickly finished the puja and asked their daughter to do so. She then hurried to the seashore to meet her husband. Kalavati, in her eagerness to meet her husband, forgot to eat the prasad and rushed to the seashore. This action of hers angered Lord Satyanarayana. He caused the ship and her husband to drown in the sea. Not finding her husband, Kalavati started weeping. All were wonderstruck and frightened. Sadhu was at a loss to know what to do. Thinking that it was Lord Narayana's Maya, he announced to everybody that he would perform Satyanarayana Puja and pray to Lord Narayana again and again. At this, Lord Satyanarayana, the savior of the sinners, was very pleased and said, "O Sadhu, your daughter did not eat the prasad in her haste to see her husband. So I made him and the boat disappear. Let her go home, take the prasad and return." On hearing this, Kalavati rushed home and took the prasad. When she returned to the seashore, she found to her joy her husband and the boat. Sadhu then returned home happily with his relatives and performed the Satyanarayana Puja every full moon day. With God's grace, he enjoyed all the comforts in this world and finally attained salvation.
Om Mahadevi Namahe Vishwapatni Dhimmahi Tanna Lakshmi Prachodayat. Jai Lakshmi Mata ki Jai. Last chapter.
Chapter 5. Maharishi Suta continued. Once there was a king called Tangadwaja who underwent a lot of misery after refusing the Satyanarayana Prasad. One day after hunting, he was resting under a shady tree. Some cowherds were happily performing Satyanarayana Puja nearby. This king, in his vanity, refused the prasad they offered. When he reached his palace, he found that his kingdom, his 100 sons, his wealth, and everything was destroyed. Then it occurred to him that Lord Satyanarayana was probably angry with him. He went back to cowherds, prostrated himself before Lord Satyanarayana and performed the puja with great devotion. Lord Satyanarayana showed his blessings and the king regained everything he had lost earlier. He lived happily and reached Vaikuntha after death. Maharishi Suta said, O holy men, I have narrated to you the Satyanarayana Katha, which was originally told by Lord Vishnu to Narada Muni. By observing this vrata, mankind can attain salvation. In this Kali Yuga, observance of the vrata can lead to fulfillment of one's wishes. Thus ended the narration of Maharishi Suta, after which Shaunak and the other rishis returned to their respective abodes.
Satyanarayana Swam Panchamakata Vishwam Samarpayami. Om Narayanaaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. Om Mahadevi Vidmahe Vishwapatni Dhimahi Tanno Lakshmi Prachodayat. Jai Bolo Lakshmi Narayana Bhagavan ki Jai. Yopam Pushpam Veda Pushpavan Pradavan Pushpavan Bhavati Chandramava Abha Pushpam Pushpavan Pradavan Pushpavan Bhavati Evam Veda Yopam Adikaram Veda Adikaram Bhavati Agatanam Vedam Bhaktamajananam Sarvavidyattam Vedoktamanta Pushpan Payami Chaturveda Priya Chaturveda Pavadhanaya.
Om Agnimele Purohitam Yajnasya Devamurtijam Hodadam Ratnadhatamam Arihivam Ishetvarjetva Bhajapasta Deva Prapayata Sreshthatamaja Karmane Arihivam Agnajagi Vitaje Granano Apyatadaje Nigota Satyavargishe Arihivam Shanna Devi Bhittajapo Bhavamata Vedade Sanjana Vishramantanaha Arihivam Ekre Jagared Namayiti Paschade Narajanajetya Parishthade Omityekaksharam Namayiti Dve Akshare Narajanajetya Pancha Aksharani Etadvai Narajanasyaashtaksharam Padam Yohavai Narajanasyaashtaksharam Padam Adyete Anavabruvas Sarvamajurete Vindade Prajapatyam Rajasponango Bhatyam Tado Mritattamastade Tado Mritattamastade Evam Veda Vipalayanda Nyaje Namarge Namagim Magisa Gobrahmane Swamast Nityam Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavanto Kale Vritapadjanya Prathivi Satyasaline Desolayam Choprahita Brahmana Santanit Bhajaha Aputra Putrina Santa Putrina Adana Sadana Santo Jivanto Sharadam Satam Om Deeparaja Janamaha.
Please all of you stand up. We do the Aarti. Open the Jaya Jagadisha Aarti. Jaya Jagadisha Aarti. Let's chant all together. Om Jai
जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
and bow down. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhoscha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya savinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. So namaskaram. सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमस्कारपयामि सर्वोपचार पूजां समर्पयामि नारायण अखिल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते Please sit it. Take some yellow rice. After Satyanarayana, we are revoking and joining to the main sanctum. Namo Brahmane, Namo Aspagneye, Namo Prithivye, Namo Voshadivyaha, Namo Vache, Namo Vachaspataye, Namo Vishnave, Brihate Karomi, Satyanarayana Swamine Tastaram Vishtamyavat Mase, Somalate Kemaya Punaragamanaya Jata. Take some sindoor, put it forehead. Bhagatsamakshatramadvardhavishtayan Nittabojasubhitamugraveeram Indrastomen Avarjatasena Madhyamitam Vatena Sagarena Raksha. Some flower petals, touch your eyes, put in the head. Rojana Rojamana Shobana Shomana Kalyanaha. Accept the photo, prayer book and the plate. Rest of things you can take. Leave the three back.
Okay, we are doing the Mahamangalarati. Take a darshan here. After taking the Mahamangalarati here, prasadam available in the front of the side. Collect the prasadam available here.
Please stand up, all of you. Please stand up. Om Raja तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्न्यै च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्
श्री रमादेवी समेत सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमो नमः दिव्य मंगल पंचहारति दीपं दर्शयामि।
जय बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय। जय बोलो लक्ष्मी माता की जय। Some of the upcoming events. Tomorrow is the lunar eclipse, Chandra Grahanam. Temple closes 4:30 p.m. Only opens Sunday morning 9 a.m. Time information and November 12th.